Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. Definitely helps out a lot, and I appreciate that. Just got back from watching F1. Solid flick overall, and I expected it to be such. Definitely one of the big films for the summer. Before I get into the film, and I'm not going to be spoiling much, it's pretty quick. It runs about 2.5 hours, but I'd say the pacing is really good. You can feel the time of the film as you are sitting in theater, but that does not take away from the high-octane moments. There is a lot of racing in this film, and that's one of the questions I had going into the film. I see the runtime, 2.5 hours, previews, that's almost 3 hours right there, and I'm thinking, okay, how much racing is actually going to be in this film? Is it going to be more sideline drama, a little bit of racing, or more racing and less sideline drama? But I'd say there's a great balance with the dynamic there between the drama end of the film and the action part of the film. Now, obviously, Brad Pitt is the main star of the film, and his character is named Sonny Hayes. He's an infamous F1 driver, and there is a little Easter egg in there regarding NASCAR. He talks about being on Daytona before he actually arrives to the team, right? So he's the veteran leadership that comes to the aid of Javier Bardem, who was actually an old teammate of his back when they were racing, and they referenced that a couple times throughout the film, and he is playing Ruben Cervantes. He's the team owner. Then you have Damson Idris, who is playing side by side, right? He's the huge support as Joshua Pierce. He is now Sonny Hayes' teammate, but really the leader of the team before Brad Pitt's character comes into the fold, right? So everybody kind of follows him in this film. Young guy, up and coming, very feisty, trying to prove who he is in this world. And Brad Pitt and his relationship definitely gets tested throughout this film. It is an arc that you can see throughout the film, which I really did appreciate. There is some character development in all of the main characters, I must say, but I think the arc is what brings it all together. Instead of building up all the characters throughout the film as far as their past and letting you know who they are, they do it while the film is playing. So I really thought that was really cool and intricate. Carrie Condon is supporting in this film, and she's the Apex technical director, and the team is called Apex. And so those are the main characters. Obviously, there's other people there with other roles that are in this film, and they play an important part. But the film really revolves around Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Carrie, and Javier Bardem. There are moments of reflection, self-reflection that is, right, acceptance on one end, people being frustrated with each other because it is a new dynamic that this team is facing for the first time. They're learning how to collaborate with each other and bring someone in that might be seeing things from a different perspective of theirs, somewhat an outsider, but someone that is trusted by the higher up. So that's always an interesting dynamic, right? You have some emotional moments there with Damson Idris and his family members, right? They're a big part of the film as well. Emotional moments for Brad Pitt coming into this as someone who is seen as basically being retired at this point in time, fighting through injuries and past memories that still haunt him from when he had his crash when he was younger. Javier Bardem's character facing the pressure of trying to basically win over the board, right? He's practically fighting for his job the whole film. And then you have Carrie's character in Kate, who is the technical designer of all these cars. And so she's placed in multiple positions where she has to be able to make things work in a fast amount of time with a lot of pressure on her. She is designing the aerodynamics behind these cars, making modifications and such. So all around different perspectives as you see throughout the film. And as I said, it was well balanced between all of those characters. Even the people that I didn't name that are a part of this cast did an excellent job making this film believable. Definitely feels like a well-crafted film. Joseph Kosinski at his best once again. This was the director of Top Gun Maverick. This is like Top Gun in a sense, but just in an F1 car, Formula One that is. And so once again, very well shot, high pace. There were scenes of intensity, probably 3 scenes that stick out to me. There was a few crashes, and then obviously the end was great, how they wrapped everything up. This film's a really straightforward film. No weird politics, no weird messages sent through. It's just a solid film about Formula One racing, and I really did appreciate that. I really do hope that the American audience actually garners more of appreciations for this sport, because obviously Formula One is way bigger in Europe. I know it is kind of gaining steam in America. I believe they had the races in Las Vegas, and there's a scene where they actually have that in the film too. So that was very good work. The locations were great. Very cool. Obviously, you have to go to the tracks, right? So they hit a lot of big locations that I'm sure a lot of European audience members will see and appreciate. And like I said, Americans as well, because they do have a couple races in America. I'd say the end and the climax of the film are my top scenes in the film. It's just a great way to level out the end of this movie. It doesn't fall apart at the end, and I really did appreciate that. So I think overall, everything was put together well for this. And to add to that, I do think the bonding of the team at the end when they do get that final victory is the cherry on top, because it definitely does not start that way. But once again, credit to the writing for creating that arc, right? You want to see everybody make it, you want to see everybody win, but there's hurdles along the way, which is a realistic approach. But at the end of that, very cool to see everyone appreciating each other, even if they were foes in the beginning, on a competitive level. But let's continue. The screenplay written by Aaron Kruger and story by Joseph Kosinski and Kruger, so they teamed up on that. We talked about how Jerry Bruckheimer was producing on this film. Even Brad Pitt has some producing credit there. So just a good production overall. We know that Apple Original Films distributed this. They put the money behind this film. Warner Brothers helped with distribution as well. So little tag team collaboration there. Film runs 156 minutes, like I had said, $200 to $300 million budget, and it's sitting at $237.4 million right now in its second week. I talked about there being a potential sequel to this film, and it's definitely something I would be interested in watching. You definitely want to watch this film on the biggest screen possible. I had a hack, since it's not in the bigger screens right now, still a solid screen. I sat almost right in the front. I was second row, leaned the chair all the way back, luxury lounger, and I had a front row seat basically to F1, no one in front of me, screen very wide, top to bottom. It looked great. This is the film for that type of setup. And so with that being said, I recommend this film, 2 thumbs up. I give it an 8 out of 10. Solid work all the way around. Top 3 films I've seen this year, up there with Sinners and Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. And before I continue real quick, Claudio Miranda with the cinematography, he's the DP there, and Hans Zimmer doing the score. But let's get back to the comparisons. So definitely a film that's faster paced than Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, and the cinematography is damn near just as good as Sinners. So a very good balance overall. And the score was fun, and it was nice. All the acting was on par. Everything felt believable, and it felt like a great racing film. I think it's going to be one of those ones that sticks around when you talk about films made behind a particular sport that's meant for the modern audience now. This is the best modern adaptation of an F1, Formula One racing simulation in film, I have to say right now. And I don't know what's going to top it, but we shall see in the future. Joseph Kosinski, keep making films like this. Definitely solid work overall from everybody that participated in this film. Ladies and gents, that's my review for F1. Try to let you know what was going on with the film. Didn't want to go too much into the plot. Want you to watch it for yourself. Definitely go watch it. But that is my quick review for it. Please like this video. Share this video with some friends, family, and colleagues. Subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate your support. Ring the bell for notifications to stay updated from me, Neff, and be safe. It's Neff signing off.